Did you guys hear that? The lady was like, how weird is that? That's new with Zoom.
Yeah, it's a new thing. I think it started yesterday.
Ah, very interesting. Yeah, cool. I think it's also, I mean, it's kind of scary. I wasn't anticipating her. Okay, cool. Let's get started in a child's pose. So for the pose review, I'm not going to give almost less cues than yesterday. I'm just going to say the poses and you guys will just go towards it. All right, so let's start in child's pose. Just take a few breaths there to settle in. Nice few deep breaths. Nice. On your next inhale, rising up into all fours. Inhale into your cow pose. And exhale, cat. And then just continue a few rounds in your own breath. Good. Finish one more round of your cat and cow. And then returning to a neutral spine. Take your right leg back, left arm forward into bird dog. Good. Akila, oh, it's okay, because I think you need more space forward. Good. Bend your back knee, grab a hold of the back foot into tiger's pose. Take 2 more breaths. Slowly release back into bird dog. Keep your right leg back, left hand comes down onto the mat. Step your right foot to the outside of your right hand into lizard pose. Good. And then just for today, tuck the back toes, lift the back knee. Let's just do a lifted, also lizard, but just a high lizard, if you will. Good. Step left foot into Malasana. So wide-legged Malasana pose. Hands come down, step your right foot back into lizard. Good, so we'll start with the knee lifted version, just for a moment. And then drop your right knee down. Send your left leg back into bird dog. You might need to adjust slightly. Good. Hands underneath the shoulders, extend your right arm forward. Bend your back knee, tiger's pose. Nice. Take 2 more breaths. Good. Slowly release back into bird dog. And then hands and knee come down onto the mat. Okay, tuck your toes, step back into plank pose. Good, nice, strong, active plank. And then downward facing dog. Okay, for our first one, just take a few minutes to pedal out into the feet, warm up into the back of the legs. Do what feels good. All right, bend into the knees, look forward, make your way to the top of the mat. Uttanasana. So your full expression of Uttanasana. Forward fold. Hands to shins, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Rise up into high mountain. And then Tadasana pose. Okay. Moving through a sun salutation, inhale, high mountain. Exhale, forward fold. Uttanasana. Halfway lift. Hands down to mat, step back into plank pose. Slow lower down through Chaturanga all the way onto your belly. Nice. Baby cobra. Good. Lower back down, tuck your toes, either push up to kneeling or back up into plank pose. And then downward facing dog. Nice. Take 3 more breaths in down dog. Step your right foot in between your hands for low lunge. Dropping your back knee down, Anjaneyasana. I'm actually just going to say Anjaneyasana. Stick to the pose names. Good. Bring your hands through to heart center, twist to your right. Yeah, elbow hooking to knee version. Good. Back up to Anjaneyasana. Half splits pose. Good. Back into low lunge this time. Keep your left hand, twist your right arm up. Good. You might need to scooch that back knee a little bit further away. Bend into the back knee for a quad stretch. Yeah, so Anjaneyasana, grabbing the back foot. So you'll bend that back knee. Yeah. Nice. Slowly release that back leg. Hands come down to the inside of your right foot, Skandasana, bending into your right knee. Skandasana to the left leg. Good. We'll just repeat everything on the left side. So spin into a low lunge into that left foot. So you'll just face the opposite side of the mat. Nice. So you might need to adjust a little bit if you need to. Drop the back knee down, Anjaneyasana. Twist over to the left side. Sorry, hands at heart center variation first. Sorry, Niga. Both are twists. Gently release back into Anjaneyasana. Half splits. back into low lunge. Right hand stays down, twist left arm up. Bend into the back knee into a quad stretch. Grab the back foot if you can. Niga, I think it'll help to grab the outside of the foot if you can. Yeah. Do you see how that changes kind of the shoulder? Then you can twist from there. Nice. Slowly release that back foot. Hands come down onto the mat. Skandasana onto your left leg this time. So we're just going to move all the way back to the mat. Skandasana onto the right leg. Low lunge on the right side. Good. Step to the top of the mat, Uttanasana, forward fold. Hands to shins, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Take a big step back into downward facing dog. Right leg up, three-legged dog. Keep the hips square. I know you guys are a bit tricky with space. High crescent lunge. Right foot steps in between the hands. Good. So high crescent lunge. Yep. Warrior two. Reverse your warrior. Extended side angle. Just elbow to knee for now. Sorry, let's do that version first. Yeah, so forearm rest on the thigh. Good. Stay here, or you can lower down right hand to the inside of the right foot. Slowly rise up, reverse your triangle. Yeah, so it's triangle legs with almost reverse warrior arms. And then full triangle pose. Take your time with the next breath or two to get into triangle. Yeah, so over your right leg. Yes, you're right, Tequila. Good, take 2 breaths here. Slowly rise back up into standing. Wide-legged forward fold. Adjust your feet as you need to. And then just variation with the hands down or the palms down on the floor, walking the hands back to the heels. Slowly walk the hands underneath the shoulders, hands to hips, rise up to standing. Good. Reverse prayer variation. So take the variation that works for your hands or your arms, your shoulders. And then exhale, forward fold. Rise back up into standing. Warrior two to the right leg. Sorry, to the right side, other side, Angela. And then go other side. So warrior two on the right leg. Yeah. So back to the top of the mat. Half moon. You guys all have to take a step back because of space. That's totally fine. Adjust as you need and then move into your half moon pose. Akila, you can grab your blocks if you need. Yeah, you use them in your pose review. That's fine. Nice, Nagar. That looks great. Nice, Ange. Good. Nagar and Angela, you guys can step to a forward fold. Let's just wait for Akila to come into it. Cool. Akila, you can step to a forward fold. Nice. Good. Hands to shins, halfway lift. Place hands down onto the mat. Keep your right foot on the front. Step your left foot far back into high crescent lunge again. And then twisted high crescent lunge. So you'll twist towards me, Akila. Yeah. Good. Slowly release, hands down to mat, step back into plank. Nice. So we're going to do Chaturanga into upward facing dog. So you can move, yeah, through knees lifted and then upward facing dog on your inhale. Upward facing dog, knees are lifted, tops of the feet are on the mat. Exhale, downward facing dog. Left leg up, three-legged dog. Same flow all on the other side. High crescent lunge. Twisting over towards the left side. High crescent lunge. Warrior two. Reverse warrior. Nice. Extended side angle. Nice. Check that stance, Nigar. It's quite short, so it's going to just carry over into all the other poses. Nice. Reverse your triangle. And then full triangle pose. I say full triangle, just triangle. Nice. Keep working those hips, guys. Back up into standing. Prasarita, so wide-legged forward fold with interlaced hands behind the back. And then as you exhale, forward fold. Rise back up into standing. Warrior two over the left leg. So back to the other side, Nagar. Left leg bends. Cool. Otherwise, you'll do half moon twice on one side. Cool. Half moon. So take time to set it up. Scooch back if you need to. Cool. Angela and Nagar, you guys can come into a forward fold. Nice, Akila. And then settle into a forward fold. Rising up into standing, high mountain. And then Tadasana pose. Just take 5 breaths here. Right. Utkatasana chair pose. Twisted chair to the right. Gently release. Twisted chair to the left. Back into chair pose. Interlace hands behind the back. Take chair back bend variation. Just decided to add that one on, guys. Release the hands, forward fold. Step back into plank. You can drop your knees if you need to, lower down onto your belly. Good. Nice, Akila. So we're going to work into Locust Pose. So on your next inhale, you'll rise up. Take the variation of the arms for Locust. A little bit of a tester here. Not so much a tester. Good. Nice. Angela took the hardest variation. Good. So you can, it's usually arms back, but arms forward is totally another variation. Yeah. So Nigar, I would reach arms back like that. Akila and Angela, what you guys did was perfectly fine. 100%. Nice. All right, you guys can gently release down, tuck the toes, push back up, downward facing dog. Okay, I hope you guys have enough space there, and you might run out of a little bit of space, but right leg's gonna go up into 3-legged dog and then into wild thing. So if you wanna shuffle before you move, that's fine. So right leg up, 3-legged dog. Yeah, that's okay. Bend the knee, open the hip, wild thing. Adjust your feet as you need. So your left foot may spin away from you. Slowly back, 3-legged dog. Warrior 1. What's happening in your back foot in Warrior 1? Nice, guys. Hands down onto the mat, pyramid pose. We spoke last week about 2 different ones. You just take the preferred pyramid pose for you. Good. Nigar, can you draw that back heel down? Cool. All right, rising back up to standing. Let's set up for Revolved Triangle pose. So you can set up your feet as you need and then reverse your, not reverse, revolve your triangle. So twisted triangle pose. Nice. Come back up in, let's get yourself into standing splits. So release your right hand down, bend your front knee, standing splits. Take a nice inhale. Big step with the left foot back, get the right foot to join, downward facing dog. Left leg up into your three-legged dog. Bend into the knee, open the hip, and then move into your wild thing. Back to three-legged dog. Warrior one. Hands to mat, pyramid pose. Bend into the front knee, standing splits. Okay, don't worry, go into your standing splits. I'll take us back to Revolve Triangle now. It's not a problem. We're gonna step our right leg back into Revolve Triangle. So step it back to the point that you need. Good. And then Revolved Triangle. So Akila, right hand down, left arm up. Yeah. So you can adjust your feet as you need to. Remember, you can make it slightly shorter or wider. So play around with that one. Yeah. Slowly release left hand down, step back into downward facing dog, and then take a nice child's pose. So let's do knees wide, toes to touch. Arms can extend forward. Take a couple of breaths in your child's pose. All right. Coming up into kneeling, swing your legs around. Let's do a couple of seated poses before the balancing. So I've just changed the order slightly. So let's move into butterfly pose. So you can face me. And you can fold forward. Rise back up. Uttanasana. So let's straighten your right leg first. Yeah. So right leg comes out in front of you guys. So what I want to see with your butterfly, that right leg stays and then send your left leg forward. I know sometimes we do it out to the side, but more traditionally it's forward. All right. Yeah. So your right leg will be straight out in front of you, left knee bent, and then you can move into your forward fold. Nice. Take 2 more breaths here. Good. Coming back up, we'll take Janu on the other side. So just swap your legs out. And then you can fold forward over your left leg. Yeah. Okay, coming back up. Wide-legged forward, seated wide-legged forward fold. Nice. So Akila, what I want you to do for this one, slowly walk your hands up, flex your feet, and you can use your hands to stay a little bit more upright and then start to walk forward. But you don't have to go very far. You can stay like that, yeah. Nice. And just flex those feet, or maybe it's just my angle. No, it might be that they are, but I'm seeing it a bit funny. Okay, walk yourself back up, Paschimottanasana, so seated forward fold legs together. Nice. Take a nice inhale, extend your arms up in line with your ears, sit up nice and tall, and then exhale your seated forward fold. Good. Coming back up into seated. Angela, if you can just turn sideways on your mat, just so I can see the next ones from the side. So reverse tabletop first. So bending into the knees, step the feet onto the mat, push into the hands, lift the hips. Yeah, so bend knee version first. Feet are about hip width apart. Slowly lower the hips back down. Navasana boat pose. Start with bent knees first. Yeah, feet lift up. So boat pose with bent knees. Nice. And try to straighten the legs, keeping that lift in the chest. Low boat, lower down halfway to just off the mat. Back up into Navasana. Let's all go for a bent knee. Find a lift into the chest, broaden the collarbones. So just bend knee, boat pose first. Yeah. And then place your feet down, hands down. Just take a short little breather. Okay. So full reverse plank pose. So it's easier to start from straight legs. So kind of like a staff pose or Dandasana position. Yeah. Point the toes, lift the hips, reverse plank. Slowly lower back down. Nice, cross the ankles. So it's coming just to cross-legged, move over into all fours. We'll do our plank section. So a side plank, sorry. So side plank series, we'll move through regular side plank, modified side plank, and then you have the option to take it into tree pose. Okay, so let's move into a downward facing dog. So it is quite nice to enter side plank from down dog. So let's start balancing on our right hand. So you can rock forward. Good. Move into side plank on the right hand. Stack the feet. Lift your left arm up. Nice. Step your top foot slightly forward into a modified side plank. Back into full side plank. Then you can try to go for that tree variation. You can use your hand to help or just slide that foot up. Nice. It's a bit tricky, and so you can keep it on the knee or the calf or something, especially if it's slippery. Slowly lower down. Let's move into downward facing dog. Over onto the other side, so onto your left hand side plank. Modified side plank. Okay. Side plank with tree foot, tree pose foot. Yeah, that's perfect, Angela. Nice. Good. Gently release. Come into a child pose for a moment. Take a couple of breathers. And then we'll just make our way up to standing so we don't have to move into down dog, step forward. You can just slowly come up, and any way that you prefer, let's get up to our balancing poses. So you guys can turn to face me. We'll start with tree pose. So standing on our left leg, let's bring our right leg into tree. Okay, arms extend up in line with ears. Slowly release, and then tree on the other side. Good. Slowly release that left foot. Let's move into a figure 4. Nice. Nigga, just check that top ankle. So it's not so much a lotus pose. It's more like the ankle just above the knee. Yeah, so it's a little bit further down. So the way that you have it is almost working towards a lotus. Okay, flexing that foot. Good. Slowly release, and we'll come over onto the other side. And back up into standing. Standing on your left leg, eagle pose. Right leg wraps around, eagle arms. And slowly release, eagle on the other side. Other arms, Akila. You had it right on the other side. Yeah, cool. Slowly release. Turn to face the side of the mat. We'll move into dancer's pose first, standing on your left leg. Take dancer's pose, grabbing the right foot. Nice, Akila. You changed the grip there. Slowly release. We'll move into dancers on the other side. Remember, we have that kick first. So get that back bend shape and then lean forward. So even if you're standing, you're just kicking. So you kick, 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 kick before you lean, and then you go forward. Cool. Slowly come up and then step to the top of the mat. Nice. Uttita Hasta Padangustasana. So remember how we did it yesterday? Last week. Right foot or right knee comes into the chest. Bind around the right big toes. And then move into extended hand to big toe pose. Nice. Release that hand. Keep that leg high. Hover it there. And place the foot down. That's a hard one, I know. Okay, on the other side, remember, it's not about getting the leg straight as yet. It's finding a lift into the chest, even if that leg is bent with the bind, okay? So let's take it on the left side. Yeah, nice, guys. Slowly release, hover that left leg. Nice active kick. And then standing back on the mat. Okay. Last balance is warrior 3. So we're going to do warrior 3 from 2 ways, okay? So we'll step back into airplane and then forward into full warrior 3. Okay, so I know you might need to shuffle in between for space. So let's bring the right knee into the chest, hands at heart center. Good. Straighten your right leg out. And then swing your right leg back into warrior 3. Airplane arms, arm sweep back. So remember, your foot is still flexed and active. Nice. Little bit of a lift in the chest. Achilles, not Achilles, sorry. Naga, square that back hip down. Good. Take a big step back into high crescent lunge. Good. So we're going to set up for full warrior 3, arms in line with the ears. So I know you might need to shuffle that back leg back slightly. Okay. So full warrior 3 on the left leg. Look forward, lean forward. Move slowly, even if it's with that bent knee. Nice, guys. Nega, keep checking in with squaring that back hip. It's opening up. Yeah. Nice, Akila. Good balance. Step to a forward fold. You can take a little ragdoll. So you're just grabbing opposite elbows. Has to be on the forehead. Doesn't work on there. Cool. Good. And then gently rise up into standing. Okay, so we're going to finish it off on the other side. So we'll bring our left knee into the chest, hands at heart center. Okay, swing that left leg back into aeroplane arms. So find the legs first and then you can sweep the arms back. Big step back into high crescent lunge. And then full warrior 3. And step to a forward fold. Nice, guys. Well done. Okay. How are we feeling? Are we good to give our arm balances a whirl? See how that goes? It's the last little push and then we've got all the others. Okay. So let's start with our normal crow first. Okay. So we'll start with the narrow Malasana. So feet together, knees coming nice and wide. Get your bolster if you need one, if you're using one. Okay, all right. So take your time, set it up. Just one round of full crow pose. Nice, Angela. Keep looking forward, Akila. Nagar, you are so close. Keep looking forward, leaning forward. It looks like the hands are a bit narrow. It could be my angle, but just play around with that they're still shoulder width. Nice, Akila. That was very close. Good. Keep looking forward, Nagar. You got a good setup. Look forward, just 1 foot if you can. Nice. Nice, good job. The setup looks really good. You're leaning forward a little bit more now than you ever did before. So it's getting there. It's keep working on it. I know at the last moment we just kind of get scared. Okay, Let's set up for side crow. I know this one is also tricky, so you can just face the camera. We're going to do it on both sides. So take your time to set it up and go for it. Nice. So we do need to bear, yeah. Nice, Angela. Nice. So Nagar, that looks good. You just need to bend the elbows a little bit more. I know it's hard. Try the other side. Akila, it looks like, I don't know if it's just my camera angle, but it looks like your hands are quite narrow. Are they as wide as shoulder width apart? Check them. I know sometimes the way I'm looking, it looks like they're closer. That looks better to me. You guys can try it on the other side. It's scary to look forward, but that's where we're going. If we look down, it's almost like we don't have enough space. So Akila, that looks good. You just got to bend the elbows. Yeah. I know it's like bend the elbows and look forward and lean. Nice, Nigar. That looks good. Lean forward. You've got something there. Nice. So Nigar, your setup looks good. It's almost like the brain needs to allow those feet to slide because you've got a lot of weight on that top foot. So it's almost like you've got to let it slowly creep in side crow. You do have to let that foot slide. And that's the scary thing because you think you're going to fall, but you've got a nice shelf there. You saw from your crow, it's there. Okay, how are we feeling? Good. Akila, you also so close. I think it would help you to have something in front of you for the fear thing. Okay, let's do pigeon pose. So take a little bit of a breather. So come into a downward facing dog. All right. Pigeon on the right leg. Okay. Exhale, folding forward. Cool. Back up onto your hands. Bend into your back knee. Take your variation of mermaid pose. Slowly release the back leg. Sitting over on your right hip. Bring your left leg over into a seated twist. Yeah, so left foot step to the outside of the right thigh. Nice, sitting up nice and tall. We twist over towards the left. Yeah, nice adjusting, guys. Slowly release the arms. Cow face pose, left foot on top of right. And then set up with cow face arms. Good. Slowly release. Cross over the ankles, back into downward facing dog. All right, moving into our pigeon pose on the other side. So left leg into pigeon. And then exhale, folding forward. Yeah, coming back up onto your hands and moving into mermaid on this side. Slowly release that back foot. Sitting over on the left hip, seated twist. Good. Slowly releasing the seated twist into cow face pose. So right foot stacks up, right knee on top of the left arm on top. Yeah, you guys all had it. You had it all right on the other side. Into cow face pose. Slowly release the arms and the legs. Good. Step the feet onto the mat. Let's slowly roll down to lying. So we've got our back bend series. You're going to work with the variations that you're working with. So let's start with a happy baby just to ease into it a bit. So take your happy baby pose. Good. Slowly release the feet down onto the mat. Bridge pose. With the interlace of the hands behind the back, please. I want you guys to just check in with the feet, not so much that they're doing anything particular. It's just some of you, one foot's like more forward than the other. So it's more just for our own body awareness. See if you can kind of even out what the feet are doing. Sometimes it's hard because I know we can't see them. Right, slowly release down. So the variation of wheel pose that you're currently working with. So remember last week we spoke, sometimes it helps to have a little bit of momentum with it. So I just want to check where you guys are at. Take it easy on your body. Do what works for you, please. Akila, step your feet in. No, carry on. I think having your feet far away requires you to push a bit more. Yeah, sorry, I should have told you before you started lifting up. Cool, you guys can go for it. Nice, guys. Good. Nice, Akila. Slowly release down. Good. Step your feet wide, knock the knees together. Just take it easy. Let the back settle. How did it feel to come up, Akila? I don't think last week you did come up, but I don't know if it's because you weren't feeling well. Did it feel fine? Cool. Nice. All right. Let's step the right foot onto the mat. Bring your left knee into your chest. Good. Grab behind the left foot. So you're either binding the toe, grabbing behind the calf or the leg. We're moving into Supta Padangusthasana, and then you'll slide your right leg straight. So both legs are going to be straight. Supta Padangusthasana. Good. So you're either grabbing behind the leg or you're binding the big toe. Leg goes up towards the ceiling, right leg down onto the floor. Yeah, good. Take a breather there. Slowly release. Good, and then we'll go over onto the other side. Good, can you straighten that bottom leg? Yeah, nice. Good, slowly release, hug both knees into the chest. Give a gentle rock from side to side. And then you can gently come up into seated, just cross-legged facing me. Take a twist over towards the right side, gentle seated twist. And over to the other side. Back through to center. Then you're going to set yourself up near the wall, if you can, or Nigard just using the door. Cool. That's fine. If you can, Angela, just move your, yeah. Cool. All right, so we're going to start with headless headstand. So I want you guys to take the variation that you're currently working with, whether you are kicking up or walking up along the wall. So set it up. I just want to see how they're looking and that you can kind of set it up on your own without instruction, whether it's for yourself or whether for teaching. And then if you can, obviously working with the head and neck off the floor. Nigar, I think you might be a bit close to the wall, but check it. What happens is that it doesn't give you space to go. It's like you need space to kick up, otherwise it rebounds you quite quickly. So give yourself like 10, 20 centimeters, even a little bit more if you can. All right, Akila, you can do a walk up the wall version, do whatever you're working with. So walking up the wall is obviously building up the strength and the confidence of getting upside down before the kick up. If you're happy to give the kick up a try, you're welcome to do that too. Nice. Keela, drop the hips slightly down. Yeah. Okay. So now I want you to feel, what is it like to just lift one leg off the wall? Just like hover the toes away. Yeah. Doesn't have to go that far. Can just hover off because, yeah. And then you can put it back down. So you're just increasing the load on the upper arms. So it's a nice variation to get used to being upside down. That looks really good. You look quite strong on the shoulders. Have you tried the kicking up? Is it a fear thing? Is it maybe hamstring thing? How are you feeling with the kick up? Nice, Nigar.
I have those short arms, so my head touches the floor, and then
I guess maybe the diagonal, it looks like your head is quite far off the floor and walking up the wall.
Yeah, but if I try and do the kick up, then I
bash your head.
I feel like I'm gonna squish my head.
Okay, cool, I get you. No, that's fine. The walking up the wall looks good. How did that feel, Nagar? Is your head on the floor? It kind of does look like it a bit, but maybe it's just your hair and your ponytail.
Yeah, it is on the floor.
Okay, have you tried the one without the floor? Without the head on the floor?
I picked it up a little bit. But I think I get scared.
So what
it's not so much the pressure on the shoulders. It's more that, I don't know, I feel like there's so much adrenaline in that moment that I get a bit.
What I want you to try on, because your setup looks really good in walking in, is before you even kick up, to do kind of what Akila did, is to practice the head off the floor in the walking up the wall, if you can show that to me now, because what that's also going to do is help building upper body strength in the shoulders. That's going to relay into a lot of poses too. So although we're looking at kicking up, and whether you're practicing it, like we said, with the head down, the head up, that's a decision you'll make for your own practice. But it's nice to also see it as a terms of setting up for, you know, headless headstand, whether you practice it or not. So let's see if you can try headless headstand walking up the wall. So you're going to flip the other way around and then take the diagonal, if we can see that. And then Akila and Angela, if you want to go into handstand so long, actually no, let's pause. Let's just do one at a time. Otherwise we're jumping the gun. We've still got another 10 minutes. That's cool. How does that feel, Angela? Feels good. Nice. Nice. So you're interlacing your fingers here and you still got a nice little push into the arm. So it's kind of like a dolphin pose. Yes. Yeah. So working there, how does that, all right, let me not speak to you while you're upside down. That looks good. Nice. And then you can work with maybe lifting, just pushing one toes into the wall, lifting one leg off. Yeah. It doesn't even have to go high. And then you can place it down and lift the other leg. I think this is such a nice, stable way to also kind of get used to being upside down. So I think from a fear perspective, you lift one leg off and you go, oh, my arms can actually hold me. How great is that? So this is a nice thing to to practice with drills, and then you flip around and you do the same thing with the upper body and practice the kicking up. Okay.
Yeah. I feel it's not so much the issue of strength, it's more my psyche that I'm
that's fine.
on the fear.
Totally. And to be honest, I practice walking up the wall most days anyway, just because it's a nice stable way of practicing inversions. I feel like I get all the benefits just without the balancing, which is fine. All right, let's do version of handstand. So the same thing, either walking up the wall or a kick up. Okay. So it's the same thing. You're just doing it with straight arms now. What I want you guys to focus on is the setup of hands underneath the shoulders. Well, I guess unless you're doing walking up the wall, you'll be a little bit more of a diagonal. Nice. Nice, Akila and Angela, that looks good. Nice, Nagar. Let your hips drop a little bit. Yeah, teeny bit. So there you like more of a diagonal shape. You guys will see it when you watch the video back. Cool. Akila and Angela, how do you guys feel about kick-ups? I'm just asking. If you want to go for it, you can go ahead. If it's not where you are right now, that's fine. We're walking up the wall. Okay, cool. Awesome. If you guys are happy with that, Angela's going to give it a, you're not going to give it a try. I thought you were going to go for another one. Okay. We've still got another 5 minutes. So Angela, pause there, pause. Before you kick up, pause, okay. Walk your feet in, so you're kicking up from a down dog, which means you need to kick so much further. So come into like a downward dog shape where you were now. I'm just gonna walk you through it. I think it's gonna make a game changer. Okay, so you wanna set up with your shoulders over your wrists first. Okay, so not a down dog shape, more of a plank shape. So come into a short down dog, yes, there. Now, okay, you can step your feet almost, yeah, okay, sorry. Come into down dog. I think there's a little bit of a delay between my camera and your screen. Walk your feet towards you as into a short down dog, shoulders over your wrists. Okay. Now lean forward, look forward in between the thumbs, lift one leg up. Okay. Now keep the hands, the bottom leg, focus on the kick of that bottom leg. Good. And then big spring. Yeah. Big one. Good. You struggle. It's almost like when you're further away, you feel like a kick up is better. When you're kicking from more of a down dog and your shoulders are back, you have to kick so much harder to get up. So start with shoulders over your wrists, and then you can practice. Is it a straight leg kick? Is it a bent leg kick? But you want to start with the shoulders over the wrists first, because that's already taken you halfway there. And think hips up, hips up. Okay.
Thanks. I think it's a fair thing. I think I need to practice the other headstands more, and then I'll get to this one.
Yeah, it's fear thing is normal in handstand, and I mean any inversions, it is a fear thing. But you guys are all looking good in your diagonals, and so you can really use that in terms of building strength, building confidence, and being upside down and taking it from there. Okay, do you guys have any questions about the pose reviews? Anything last? Speak now. Questions about any of the poses?
Just Taryn, the inversions make me so happy. I don't know, even though I'm not even fully doing them, but I don't know, it makes me happy.
I think, yeah, I mean, besides, I don't know if it's a blood rush or a dopamine kick or some kind of hormonal thing that's happening too. But I also think that inversions and arm balances really also instill like a sense of confidence in you, because you realize, oh, I can do this. I can be upside down. I can balance on my arms. And so, yeah, you guys can be really proud about that. I think everyone has grown such leaps and bounds in terms of what you could do 6 weeks ago versus now. I mean, that was not even 5 weeks ago. So well done. That is awesome, awesome, awesome. Cool. Thanks, guys. If they, I think I might still need a couple of pictures from you guys in the week. The reason being is because our next pose review is on Sunday, which is the last day of the course. So it's almost like on that pose review, everything needs to be in order. So it's fine. It's already better than last week, and each week just gets better and better and better. So one thing that I want you guys to think of, and I think I saw it in some of the other groups too, is that when we send photos, the photos look really good because we're quite deliberate on it, but it's now integrating that into the pose review too, so that you can start doing it in the practice. And I know there's so much to think about. It's like you're focusing on your arms and then it's just a flexed foot or things like that. So if there's feedback that I give to you, think about, cool, I'm going to send it in a photo, but I'm also going to try and remind myself in the practices too. Okay. Awesome. Thanks so much, guys. You'll be back to see Bev at 2:30.